If you want to flip your first house, you should definitely ignore all the advice on social media and do this instead. We're going to talk about all the mistakes that I made in my recent flip that I just lost money. And I'm going to tell you with proof that every single problem has a solution. So I hope that you stay, because this is going to be a teaching lesson for you so you don't make the same mistakes. I have done over 100 flips, and I have done hundreds of renovations and flipping houses and buying rentals. It's all I do. This house was located in West Haven, Connecticut. Now, this seems to be like an easy flip, right? Cosmetic flip, whatnot. So this house was on the market. We purchased it on the market, and it was brought before by an agent friend of ours. And he brought the deal before it hit the market. The person said no. They didn't decline our offer. They put it on the market. It fell through 3 times. And then we bought it on the market at around the same price that we offered originally. So the house, again, was 5 minutes from my house, easy flip. Now, we obviously encounter problems in every single flip, and that's the new normal. I want you to go into your first, second, or third flip thinking that you're going to find problems, more problems that you already know, and then you have to be prepared for that. So the plan was simple. We bought it for $255. We were going to put about $50K, and we were going to sell at $370, $380 mark. And I'm going to tell you the mistakes that I made, and I'm going to be completely transparent with you. The first mistake that I made, and our realtor has no fault in this, was not trust our gut. And when I say that is the ARV, which stands for after repair value, in my eyes was about $360,000. But the agent was a little bit more optimistic, and he told me it could be a $370, $380 situation. As an investor, I cannot blame my agent, because at the end of the day, I'm the one who dictates what is going to be the price, whether I'm right or wrong. The agent can definitely give you suggestions on price, but I think the investor has to do due diligence by themselves. So I thought it was $360. He thought it was $370, $380. I thought it was like $350, $360. And my partner was telling me the same thing. I think I got overconfident, and we listed it at $370 and $380. And that was a mistake. And we're going to talk about what was the outcome later. But you always want to price your house to sell quickly, or you should always price your house thinking that it might stay on the market a little longer. And that's completely normal. Like, maybe you can say, listen, I might not get 400, but if we list it for like 390, 400, and I'm okay waiting 1 or 2 months until we get that offer that we're looking for, good for you. That's totally fine. And I know people, they do that with a higher end house. I am the kind of flipper that want to be in and out. I want to have an offer within 30 days, a great offer within 30 days, and be done and just move on for the next project. One of the second mistakes that I made, and this is something that I tell other people, is about partnerships. So we partnered with someone that had good intentions, that it was a new investor, and we divided everything in thirds, and everything was good. Now, the roles, I think the mistake is part of my fault, because the roles in the partnership was that, like, I have a partner. So I had 2 partners in this deal. One of them, we knew was going to be silent and is going to be just for support. And then the other partner supposed to be helping me throughout the flip while they are learning. And I do this with students, and I do this, but I think my fault was that I didn't set the expectations of, hey, if there's a problem, I want you to go and check the house. If the house is on the market, I want you to go and check the house, make sure the sump pump is working, make sure, this is working, make sure that you get quotes for this. And I don't think there was a set expectations. So my best tip that I can give you for partnerships is I know you're excited because you're entering your first, second, and third flip, but you should create clear expectations with them. And not only that, but I will suggest for you to put it in writing, because when everything goes right, there's no problems. But whenever I lost, $7,000 in this deal, and then there wasn't a clear operating agreement with all of us, all parties. And it was clear we had an operating agreement, but it was not super clear. And again, leave everything clear verbally, set expectations with the person, but also write it down. With an attorney, you can also write it down and set the rules set. The other struggle that I feel like nobody talks about is taking the wrong offer. So we had 2 offers before this one. So we had an offer, we listed it at I believe it was 369, 379, something like that. And we got an offer for like 370, 380. They did inspections and they went radio silent on us. They didn't give any explanations, just we're just gonna back out. There's things that we don't like, and we're like, okay, well, what happened? Nothing. Then the second offer came in, never put the deposit. They were not serious. And then the third offer came in at 360 or 350. I think it was 355. At that point, renovation went a little bit over budget, and at that point, we were gonna make 5 to 10 grand. And what happened was that they made a contingent with doing all these repairs. And I think that the more the buyer asks, the more of a red flag is. And sometimes it's better just to settle, hey, I will give you $2,000 as a credit, or I will give you $3,000, or I will give you $5,000 or whatever, than actually doing the repairs. And the reason why it's better to give them a credit is because when you guys are repairing something, it has to be on their standards. So the garage roof has to be replaced. We did replace it, but there are certain modifications that we had to do in order to put the brand new doors that we did. And they didn't like that. It was not up to code, but there's no other way because the new garage doors were different dimensions. And there's nothing we could have done except made a custom made and cut in the garage door. The other thing is that this buyer was asking so many things after inspections. So one of the things that you can do, this is how we're going to solve this problem. Number one, you can always communicate with your offer before you accept it. So for example, you can say, hey, we already got other offers or not, right? Maybe tell the truth. Say, hey, we didn't get any offers, but if you guys are coming in thinking that we're going to give 5, 10,000, it's better for you guys to not come because we're not going to grant it. You set expectations at the beginning. And if that person really wants the house, it doesn't matter which credit you're going to give them. I can guarantee you that. If the person really wants the house, they will do the repairs themselves or they will back out. But at least you're upfront. So again, it was a red flag that she wanted a new window that was working well. She wanted some branches cut. She wanted a dryer vent. She wanted some gutters in the garage. She wanted a brand new garage roof, which there was no need to do it, but she wanted it. And we agreed all that because we were so tired of all the offers that fell through and dealing with this house that we just accepted. And I think that was a mistake. Looking back, I think it's a major red flag having the person giving us a list and expecting that we're going to do all that. So you can be upfront with them before you take that offer. One of the mistakes that I made, and this is going back to the garage roof, I should have replaced the whole thing. So we replaced pretty much the roof and the plywood, and there were some support beams that we end up replacing it, but they were not necessary. It was more like for security of the new owner, which I understand. There's new people buying the house, but I think I should have just replaced the whole thing instead of trying to keep things on the budget. The reason why I didn't do the whole thing, knowing that could have come in the inspection, was because I didn't have the budget. The budget was really tight. And looking back, one of the mistakes that I made in this house was to have a very tight budget. And when I say very tight budget, doing more than 100 flips, I knew that with $50,000, I could have done all the things that I wanted to do. So always have a 10, 20% contingency built in your numbers. So like you can say my renovation could be 50,000, but I'm going to have an extra 10, 20,000 just in case things happen. And that's going to be built in your offer when you're buying the house. And I didn't do that because all the mechanicals were working and everything was good. But I think that was a big mistake. But the biggest mistake, I haven't told you what happened. So this house had over 40 showings. Everybody loved this house. I'm going to put some photos and pictures of this house. Everybody loved this house, but there was one problem. And one of the bedrooms was small and people were counting on that. I thought it was going to be an issue, but I never thought it was going to be an issue to people to not put an offer. Because in my head, I was like, okay, if we're listing it for 380, but it has a small bedroom, maybe these people can put an offer 360, 370 because the bedroom is too small, even if it's worth 380, 400. Like, I thought that the small bedroom was going to be a slight reducing price, but I didn't think that people were not putting offers. Again, lesson learned. And my last take on this is that a lot of realtors and a lot of people will take you and will tell you that you can sell to this price. And the truth is that most of the time they are right. And most of the times they are the expert. And sometimes it goes above asking. But what if it goes wrong? So if it goes right, everything is good. But if it goes wrong, you are the one taking the hit. So what I will suggest for now on is that you talk to your realtor and ask them, what is the worst could happen if I sell it at, like, what is the worst in valuation for this house? And because the best, nobody knows. And the worst is something that you can say, well, similar houses are selling for $350. You might get $320, $330 because of this. A good realtor will always guide you. Now, they don't have a crystal ball and they're not going to tell you. So every time that I hear a flipper, oh, my realtor told me, I just feel like so sorry, because you should verify your own numbers and you should make a conservative approach. I have plenty of realtors telling me that you're wrong, but I'm the flipper. I'm the one who has experience doing these renovations. I know I can tell you 90% of the times, 95 I can bet, that I will tell you that that house needs 60,000, maybe 70. And I can tell you with confidence that I'm right. Now, about the ARV, nobody knows. The ARV is sort of like the after repair value. It's sort of like a suggestion. It's like similar houses are selling for this. This is what you can expect. But about the small bedroom, nobody will know. 40 showings, only 3 offers. That's pretty low. I also wrote a book about flipping houses, if you guys can see here. And this book, I put all the mistakes that I made. And this is the step-by-step guide to know how to fund, how to flip, how to renovate every single house. And this is a lot of experience. You can buy it on Amazon. It's in Spanish as well. So if you need the link, or if you want to connect, or even if you love this podcast, if you love this video, please let me know. I'm very active on Instagram and social media. I'm also very active on Facebook. So if you want to chat, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'm here for you. Until the next one, peace.